wind us down.
Okay.
And so I'm going to ask you a series of rapid questions, but you can take them at the pace that works for you.
Okay, good.
What is something that is easy for you to say yes to?
Travel.
Of course. Yes.
Free travel. Travel with cool, chill people who I don't think will stress me out on the trip. And then nature stuff most of the time, but it depends on the nature thing.
Same. Both of those answers from you as well. All right. What is something that you find it hard to say no to?
I guess just like we were talking about today, community events that I feel I should be at.
Okay.
Or helping in some way with that event.
Right. And so you have to balance. You have to put more intentionality into thinking about, do I really need to be at this event?
Right.
All right. So when it comes, we didn't say joy a lot. So I am curious, what brings you joy? What is something that you get right when it comes to pursuing joy?
Joy is, I mean, again, the easy to say yes to list, that's the joy list, I would say as well. A new part of the joy list is my niece. I'm super obsessed with her. She's like the best, cutest thing ever. Like ever. Obsessed. And then sometimes even just the things I'm consuming for entertainment, like TV or movies. And one example right now, the movie Sinners that's out, my cousin was one of the videographers. He was the Steadicam operator with the IMAX 70 millimeter thing. And watching that film and knowing that he was such a big part of visually what we're seeing on the screen just brought me a lot of pride and joy.
I feel that. It is one of the most amazing movie-going experiences I have ever had.
Girl, that scene.
I want to go. I know it. I want to go back into the theater just so I can watch that scene again.
I literally like sat forward and had my mouth open watching that scene. That is I'm getting like goosebumps thinking about it. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I was the same. If they had one of those cameras in the theater capturing audience reactions, this was me. You know, like mouth open on the floor, eyes big. That was me.
In any of the camera work that's like kind of snaking through the crowd was my cousin. So in that, and you know, that he was a part of that scene, the part of the scene outside. He was part of a lot of the scenes, but those are the two like craziest scenes that I was like, yeah, my cousin was part of that.
That's amazing.
But when the like past and future was coming and and I like need to watch it again because I know in my head it was coolest thing I've ever seen. I mean, Ryan Coogler's an actual literal genius, like literal genius.
Genius. I agree. Yeah. Okay, I would love to talk about that forever, but the last question for this little rapid round of questions I have for you is, where do you still struggle when you think about joy or rest or boundaries and would like to work on?
While I'm getting better at saying no and trying to create spaces of calm and peace for myself, that is still just a struggle. Trying to not feel guilty about not like even last night where I have this long list of things I need to do and not working on it, trying not to feel guilt about that is really hard. Or if I just have time, then I'm like, am I just sitting here? Should I be doing something? So just the guilt around being still. Yeah. So I'm working on that. I think I'm giving myself a lot more grace for it. I think also my partner is very, very good at that. And so I feel like I've just been learning a lot about just chilling.
I love that. Funny short story. Sometimes I get really tired around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 or 3:30. And that is the perfect nap time for me. And I set my watch for 25 minutes and then I get up and I'm good to go for the rest of the day. And that is something I really like to indulge in. But I have found that where I'm not doing this anymore, but what happened is my husband would come home from work, and if I was napping, I would get up like I was doing something. like I didn't deserve to be sitting there taking a nap. And
Yeah.
then I really had to explore, where is this coming from? Why do I feel the need to do? I can just sit here and rest and it's okay.
So I'm getting better at that. And the other thing that's interesting too is like when I go home to visit my parents, that is the only time that I ever straight up just rest. It's almost there's this SNL video called Back Home Ballers where they're like making fun of when you go home for Thanksgiving or Christmas. And I'm like, no, for real, because for whatever reason, the only time I can just lay on a couch and chill out is there. Like the whole time I'm there. And occasionally I'll be like, oh, should I help? Should I do the dishes? I don't do anything. They live right by Chicago, and everyone's like, oh, let's go to Chicago. And I'm like, kind of just want to lay on this couch. So that I do know when I go home, I get a good amount of rest when I do that.
Well, it's beautiful that your parents' home is a place of rest for you. Yeah.